Hey, it's JankyJolteon. My name is Bree, and today I'm going to be reacting to Caskets. Caskets is a song by Inpatient, which is Ren, Chris Webby, and JPonDaTrack on their new album, Asylum. I am very excited for this song because Ren has really hyped it up. He has mentioned that it is a song about grief, but it focuses more on love than loss. And I think that's a pretty refreshing concept because most songs that resonate deeply with me on the matter are really heavy. Like Goes to You by Good Charlotte is a good example of one. So I'm really excited to see where he goes with this. Excuse my halfway put together room. I just moved into my new house. I'm gonna have more of my vinyls displayed on the wall. So I'm still in the process of that. It's probably a little echoey because I only really have a desk in here at the moment. I will address that in my next videos. So anyways, Ren made a advertisement for the song, and I really like the way he explains it. So I'm gonna play that first.
I've lost quite a few mates in this weird adventure called life. And the more people that I lost, the more I started to reframe what death even meant. For me, it became useful to look at it not as an ending, but as a point in the same circle. An exhale at the end of an inhale, or like the tide returning to the ocean. And maybe death hurts so much because we've wrongly convinced ourselves that we're separate from everything. That we don't come from everything, and therefore return to everything. It gets easier for me if I look at it like that. If I look at it like the last notes at the end of a beautiful song, or the end of a movie that makes you go, damn, that was a good film. I'm gonna watch that one again. I'm gonna tell all my mates about that one. Anyway, I miss you, man. I always miss you.
You know, I really like Ren's interpretation here. It's very Buddhist-coded. He's mentioned dabbling in many religions and spiritualities just to kind of look for different perspectives, and I've done the same myself, so I really like seeing that influence in his work, where you get a little bit of everything, not really any religion or spirituality in particular, but you know, I personally believe a lot of it blends together, so I really like his interpretation on this kind of thing. And next we have the countdown just before Caskets. Thank you to Renspace for capturing this clip from the live. Just a reminder, we run a group on Facebook called Renspace. We also have a Discord, and it's just a really safe, inclusive place for Ren fans from all over the world. If you are open to it, I would like you to take this moment to bring a loved one, family member, or friend who is no longer with you to mind. This is an opportunity to collectively honor them, to feel love, gratitude, and release any discomfort that comes up. If you want, silently, loudly, or as a thought, let their name take center stage. If it feels right, you can share their name in the chat. As I'm going to talk about my three. So first there is Greg. He was my first partner. We were best friends after that for years, and we lost him to depression. Then there's Darren. He was my husband's best friend, and he was like a brother to me. We also lost him to depression. And then there's my cousin. This is the kind of hard part. They released this song the day after the anniversary of his murder. I'm not going to get too into the gory details. In the description, I will post the link to the article about what happened, as well as the GoFundMe, which goes to his expenses for seeking justice for what happened to him. So I'm gonna be honest here, I've seen this video once before. I couldn't do a raw reaction because you don't need to see me cry on camera. But Anyways, I've had a few more days to process it, and this is definitely one of those songs that it hits you in multiple different ways. You gotta listen to it a few times to really absorb it, and it was really hard to hear at first, but it was good, don't get me wrong, but it was a very emotional song. But going back at it with a little bit more processing, I feel I could do a better video. But, you know, the names that come to my mind are my 2 freckled angels and my cousin Hayden. Let any feelings that come up happen. There is no shame in feeling exactly what needs to be felt. Whether it is sadness, joy, anger, regret, or numbness, it's all okay. The tragedy is not that life ends, but that we sometimes forget how miraculous it is that it began at all. Caskets, for those no longer with us. And now for the main feature, Caskets by Inpatient.
If I don't wake tomorrow morning, empty shoes on the side of the hall, and if my number stops calling, picture frames hanging up by the door, you try to reach right in and hold on to the little things, but they slip away. But it's okay, 'cause I had a hell of a time.
Yeah, I love that transition of looking at the picture and diving into the memory. He's got the memories all along his fireplace. I really like how he can look back on it like this. I mean, like, starting out the video with chills.
Know that I had the time of my life, so remember me and smile. All of the souls heading back home down a one-way road, so it goes until the casket's closed. And if you get that sinking feeling, thinking about the time we shared, I hope it helps you with your healing. Knowing that I wasn't scared, I savored everything. I pressed the wood up against my skin. I was lucky, I guess.
Alright, so this song looks like it's coming from the perspective of the person that passed. And, you know, I guess, so, as Ren said in one of his songs, when you spend half your life with death, you do not fear the reaper. You know, you just kind of look at death a little bit differently when you're constantly sick, and then you also lose a lot of people. Each situation is so unique and reshapes the way that you interpret how everything happens. You know, so coming from the perspective of the person who has passed, I really like how they're focusing on wanting you to heal. Like, I'm already on the other side, so how I feel is quite a bit different than what's going on Earth. So I want you to know that I had a hell of a time, you know, and your healing is what matters here.
I always found the beauty in the mess. You gotta hold on to the little things, but you gotta let go just a little bit. When another one goes, one will find their wings, then they'll find their way home, little take and give. Into the unknown and the changing tides, the sun sets low on an endless sky. So much we don't know, I don't know why, but I'll be fine, 'cause I had a hell of a time. Know that I had the time of my life.
I also want to mention, I kind of enjoy that a lot of Friends' videos seem, they go back to the 90s in aesthetic. Like, you can see there's not a lot of technology going on, but it's still modern. And, yeah, just kind of a tie-in to his other work.
So remember smile. All of the souls heading back home down a one-way road. So it goes until the caskets close. Raise a toast as the curtains close and the sunset fades to black. So the story goes, we all walk with ghosts, no one-way tickets back.
I really like Webby's voice coming in. It's like a drastically different tone, and the tone of the video is changing. Like, it's getting a little more talking about the hard times. But I also like what Webby said there. So the story goes, we all walk with ghosts. And I mean, loss is such a widespread human experience. If you haven't experienced loss, you probably just haven't been here long enough. So it's something that everyone can relate to, no matter how drastically different, like Ren mentioned in the countdown, is a lot of emotions come up. Good, bad, you know, but the experience is pretty universal regardless of the details.
As the curtains close and the sunset fades to black. So the story goes, we all walk with ghosts, no one-way tickets back. The casualties of our memories that slip right through the cracks. All the inside jokes and the times we spoke will stay frozen in the past. You gotta hold on to the little things, but you gotta let go just a little bit. I guess we'll never know what tomorrow brings, but just know you're not alone in the thick of it. I know it feels cold when the caskets close, stories untold on a headstone. For those who grow old, it'll...
Stories untold on a headstone. I love that. You know, like the headstone back here when they're mourning their friend. The headstone only has such minimal details, and it's important things to remember them by, but that's such a small fraction of what happened while they were here, and holding on to those memories is such an important part of processing, I think.
All the inside jokes and the times we spoke will stay frozen in the past. You gotta hold on to the little things, but you gotta let go just a little bit. I guess we'll never know what tomorrow brings, but just know you're not alone in the thick of it. I know it feels cold when the caskets close, stories untold on a headstone. For those who grow old, it'll fly by in the blink of an eye. So we'll have a hell of a time.
Part makes me so emotional. The only loss I've ever really experienced is my pets and my 3 friends to suicide and homicide. Much different scenario than health issues. You know, so I've never really lost anyone myself to health issues like that, so I don't really know how to feel about that, but this video just brings up so many emotions on that despite not having a personal connection to that issue. You know, I've had older family pass from known issues that we knew were coming. That's a little bit different, and they're probably showing like Parkinson's dementia type things here, where there's a degenerative issue where you can see them decline, and that's a whole different level of trauma, I think.
Know that we'll have the time of our lives, so remember us and smile. All of the souls heading back home down a one-way road. So it goes until the caskets close. We'll have a hell of a time. Know that we'll have the time of our lives.
You know, I really do enjoy how they highlight the animals as an important aspect in loss. You know, like, some people are like, oh, it's just an animal. But, you know, me, okay, my life is a little more heavily involved with animals. I'm a dog groomer, dog trainer, and I have fostered and rescued dozens of animals. So I've had quite a fair share of experience in loss, and I see how this affects myself, my clients, my partner, my friends. You know, losing an animal that you have tied into your life that closely is just as hard as losing a person. You know, like, with a person, you might depend on certain factors for them. With animals, they're more dependent on you, but you do intertwine your lives so much that having them ripped away from you hurts in the same way. But I do enjoy how they're kind of putting that on an equal platform.
till the caskets close.
That was excellent. Like, I'm sure you can see my eyes welling up a little bit. I've seen this video about 5 times by now. I really like it, and you know, if you listen to just the song and just the video, it hits in totally different ways too. You know, just the song is a little bit more uplifting, like celebration of life kind of vibes. The video is heartbreaking, but for relatable reasons. Like, it's kind of soothing that it's such a universal experience. Not that you want anyone else to go through that kind of trauma, but everyone does at some point. So I do really like how it's different angles depending if you just want to listen to it or watch it. I really like this one. I think it was absolutely worth red type. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but definitely having to process this for a few days before doing my reaction video wasn't it. Usually I try to do them the same day. I might listen to the song first and not watch the video just because my brain's kind of hard to absorb certain things. So if I hear it first and then I go back and react to the video, I still feel it's a genuine enough reaction for you guys. But if I were to just listen to it the first time, I'm probably just gonna watch the whole thing straight through and not have much commentary. But this one was so good. I cannot wait for the rest of this album. So don't forget to subscribe to Ren Makes Music and For the Burbs, which is Ren and Chris Webby. And don't forget to subscribe to JankyJolteon, and I'll be reacting to more of these songs as they come out. I really hope that this video is healing for a lot of the people that want to listen to it. It's a little hard to listen to. It can be triggering for some, but it's a really good message, and I think it's something that people should try to cram in their brains if they're suffering from loss to any extent. So thank you, Inpatient, for another banger. I will see you guys next time.
Jordan, will you marry me?